Good Wednesday morning, friends, or afternoon, or evening, or middle of the night, whenever you might happen to be catching this. For those that I may not know, I'm Reverend Jennifer Finley, our Momentum and Discipleship Pastor at First United Methodist Church, and this is our midweek time to pause together, to take a deep breath in all that swirls in our worlds, and to reflect on where God is meeting us in the here and now, where God is being made visible to us. I'd actually take a deep breath, but I am actually joining you from our campus ministry building. This is my office at our campus ministry building, and I think someone around here may have cooked something very fragrant for breakfast, and it's definitely a little pungent in the office. Not a bad thing. It is good to join you today and to wonder together about how God is meeting us. And as I was thinking about that for myself today, I was reflecting on a moment that happened on Sunday evening here in this building. Many of you know I spend my Sunday evenings with our college students. Many of you have joined in our open table meals over time, and it's a wonderful, joyful time. This week, our students had put their heads together with our fellow campus ministries, the Lutheran Student Fellowship and the Baptist Student Union, for a progressive meal of sorts. So they started at the Lutheran Student Building and had appetizers, and then they came here and had a lovely time of a meal, and then they proceeded on to the Baptist Student Union building to have desserts. And it was a lovely time. We had a absolutely full house. Normally we have about 20-25 students that join us on Sunday evenings and in the basement of this building, and on Sunday night we were close to 50. Now, you might be thinking, well, that's where Jennifer met God, in like this beautiful full house, and it was lovely. But actually, the moment that stuck with me was a couple of quieter moments where a couple of students, a couple of our regular college students came and said, you know, this is really wonderful, but it's a little overwhelming. There's lots of noise. Would it be okay if I just hung out upstairs with a smaller group in a quieter space? I said, of course. Do that. Do what you need to do. And a couple of students that said, I'm going to hang out on the porch and eat my meal and talk with just a couple of people. And I said, yeah, absolutely. Do what you need to do. And what caught me in that, why God met me there, was that acknowledgement that sometimes we need to be able to ask for what we need. Not that they needed my permission or anything like that. But sometimes we need to be able to say out loud, this is what I need in this moment. And it might look different than what other people need in this moment. And it got me to thinking that act of honesty with ourselves and with other people around us is indeed a spiritual practice. The next several weeks in our time together, I'd like to explore some spiritual practices, ordinary means that we might be picking up in this particular season, in this particular time, for those change over time. And I wonder about a spiritual practice of honesty, of asking, of naming what we need. Now, sometimes we're not in a place where we can know that for ourselves, and we need other people to help us hear that. But there are times when we know this is what I need in this moment. And it takes courage to name that for ourselves and to ask others to support that. But perhaps more importantly, many of us may have been trained in the church or other places that it's not okay to ask God for what we need. I know that, and this is not, by the way, the kind of vending machine idea of God where we ask God we put our money in and God gives us exactly what we want. That's not what I'm talking about, but I'm thinking about the spiritual practice of listening and discerning our own needs and coming before God and offering those in honesty. For relationships, whether it's with other people or with God, are built on practices of honesty and courage. And so I'm wondering today, How can God meet you in that moment of saying, hey, God, this is what I need right now? Of saying it for yourself, of saying it for God, and maybe even doing that with the community around you. Hey, community, this is what I need right now. And again, sometimes we don't know that, and we need other people to support us in that as well. But the honesty and the vulnerability of our college students met me on a Sunday night because they were willing to say, this is wonderful, and also I need a break, and can I go hang out over here? And whether it was in the loud chaos, holy chaos of 50 people in one room, or the quiet conversation up here in our living space or out on the porch, God showed up. And I'm wondering, for yourself, for your people, for you, the people in your life, what does this courage and honesty to name what we need look like, sound like, feel like? Sometimes it's as simple as saying, hey, I'll be out on the porch, or hey, I'll be upstairs. Or maybe you're the opposite and people feed your energy and you say, hey, I need to be amongst a group of people right now. Sometimes our needs are different than that, and we don't even have words for them. And that's when we pray in a silent way of, just our hearts rising to God to say, help, or I need this. I'd like to end with this prayer for courage. I've shared it before, but it's powerful. It's from a book called Daily Prayers with the Cormelia community. It's written by Padre Gatume. Courage comes from the heart, and we are always welcomed by the heart of God. We bear witness to our faith, knowing that we are called to live lives of courage, love, and reconciliation in the ordinary and extraordinary moments of each day. May we be courageous today. May we learn today. May we love today. Friends, my hope and my prayer is that we can be courageous with God, with ourselves, with each other in community. We can ask and name what we need from God, for God can handle that. And we can do that within community as well. And if you need someone, if you are looking for a conversation partner to have that conversation, know that our doors at church are always open at a church office. And also, I'm usually here in this office with our college students on Wednesday afternoons, and you're always welcome to come find me. My door is open here as well, where we can be in beautiful, honest, joyful community with God and with each other. Go in peace.